need arises to recover and heal. So as much as a family time is important, we also notice that having private time and space has become essential in today's life. So keeping this aspect in mind, we have added these requirements of having common and private space within a home. So things are ever changing and changing fast. So what we are looking for is how we kind of dedicate a space that is future proof. So the site we have is a 500 square yards site facing east. We have the road on the east, north on the top. This is about 82 feet and this is about 55 feet. Based on the requirements what we have arrived, we perceive it as 3 primary blocks. So public, private and services. When I meant public, we're talking about spaces that are meant to be open for visitors or any other spaces like an office space, or it could be an in-law suite. While private is more intimate, where we have bedrooms, family livings, and services is where we have kitchen, dining, and also as a transition space, along with other facilities that goes into the house. If I were to do that, put it on the site, so this is public space, this is private, and this is the services core. By doing so, what we're doing is we are actually creating a court on the north side of the plot, allowing interaction from both private spaces, services, and part of a public space overlooking into this one. However, since we don't want the public spaces to look into the internal court, what we're doing is we are creating another barrier here. And that being done with a series of trees that works as a natural screen from the road. The screen continues on the other side of the house, while the rest of the site will be made into a green zones, bigger trees on the west side, relatively smaller on the north. If you notice, the entire house is oriented towards the north. That's where we get the daylight. So we, in India, we have abundance of light. So the challenge is not about not having the light. The challenge is about how we control it. So we want to cut off the harsh light and only have the natural daylight, what is convenient and what is comfortable for the spaces. So most of the spaces are designed to open up towards the north, while the east and the west is more at a controllable shading devices. Well, on the south, we have taken a complete solid block for the neighboring property. Again, the design is looking towards the north, so we want this to be a private zone for the neighboring house. Now, the main spaces, as I said, the private spaces has livings here. This is the family living, which can actually connect to all 3 sides with the courts. And the public space will keep itself more open, so allowing the outside space to continue through the building, making it more inviting. So you would see actually under this block that the actual building is only until here, allowing this whole underneath the building to be more welcoming from the road, and also creating a sense of a canopy that makes it more inviting. So instead of just having a block with a door in the front, you would actually see a huge canopy. So it kind of creates a shelter first before you actually reach the main door. And the center spaces, as I said, will house the activities that are more kitchen, dining, and also the vertical movement of the staircases, all will happening in this service core. While the service core is purposefully made to be at a lower level, sandwiched between these two, and becoming a green terrace on the top. While the roof of this one, the public and the private, are made completely solar panels as a false roof above. These solar panels are not at the angle what typically we see in the buildings. These are becomes part of integrated part of the roof. So they become like a false roof for the main roof, acting as an insulation, and they're also same as a solar power generation. That allowing us to have a clean form and having the central court in the middle. So you would see the direct connection of this terrace garden with respect to the main green court that is coming in the north area. This is the primary segregation of the zones that are there in this house. So this is a study model that we did just for our understanding of how the form is evolving. So what you're looking at is this block, which is the public spaces, and this block what you're seeing as the private spaces, and this center block is the service core. This is the road at this point, and you can actually see how the flow of outside to inside is smooth transition that what we have. So as I was mentioning, this is the kind of a canopy space that it off the road, and the main entrance is over here. So people come here, and that's the main entrance from the public space to the private spaces. I was mentioning about the sun path. So you would see that in the summer that you would see the sun, if my finger point is the sun, the winters that you will see the sun path is going towards this one, like that. So you can actually see the entire house is facing towards the north side, and the trees here and the trees here will allow to block the harsh afternoon sunlight, yet keeping it permeable into at the lower level of the green court area. Right, and this is the space that I was talking about, the veranda, where in the morning you get beautiful sunlight, so allowing for activities like yoga and meditation in this zone. All these partitions could be completely collapsible and becomes integrated into a complete large space here. The solar panels are going to be on top of it, which is flat roofs, both on this one and on this block. So coming to the materials and the type of construction, what we have seen in the past is from the Industrial Revolution and the need for rapid construction, we have ended up with coming with materials and techniques that has costed for the environment and also for the human well-being. So in TerraBoard, which literally translates to Earth Home, we are looking at materials that are earthy in nature. As you can see here, if we call this as a polyethylene block, it's a beautiful material that does work as an excellent thermal insulation. And we also have other classic materials like clay bricks. The intent of using these materials is not only for ease of construction, but also for the breathability of the material, which we are taking it to the extent of using it even for the slabs. So we would use this as a filler material, minimizing the use of concrete, unlike the traditional type of construction. And we're looking at using limestones as flooring materials and some of the other finishes, which are pretty much from the neighboring areas. So by using these earthy materials with the modern techniques of construction, we are making TerraBoard more biophilic in nature, blurring the lines between the inside and outside.